Hello everyone, Jeff and Jay here with another edition of Jay's Big Adventure. Jay's the Fuzzy Guy, and today I can prove that Jay has lost his mind. So as many of you know, this channel is about learning how to buy and sell cars and motorcycles and actually make money at it. It is way more fun to get paid to drive and ride nice stuff than it is to pay to drive and ride nice stuff, and that's what this channel is all about. I have a series of 10 videos so far that deal with all kinds of issues that will help you get started. How to find inventory, how to write a great ad, how to negotiate when you are buying the car, and also how to negotiate when you are selling the car or motorcycle. I have episodes on title work, on insurance, a whole bunch of other things, but watch that series if you haven't already, and it will help you understand what it is that makes this car special. So I was originally looking for something inexpensive and reliable for one of our daughters to drive. What we ended up was this. This is a 1972 MG MGB. Now, most people do not put reliable in British cars in the same sentence for a very good reason. This is not what I was looking for. It was not what I was expecting to find. But if you haven't watched my video on how to buy inventory, this is exactly what this is all about. I was searching for something in a given price range, and this car popped up. I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah. This car was in Twin Falls, Idaho, about 3 hours away. I thought, well, that's pretty neat. And if you watch my video on inventory, this car checked all the boxes to be a potentially good deal. One, it had one blurry picture, it had very little description, and that's about it. It's a year, make, model, miles, and not much else. And so I called the guy. Turns out he's 72. He has this car and a bunch of older motorcycles, and it was time for him to start thinning the herd. Turns out he bought the car in 2015, and he's only put a couple of thousand miles on it. Now, if you look at MGBs, there are two major variations. There are the chrome bumper cars, which are the desirable ones, and the big rubber baby buggy bumper cars that are, I think, 75 or 76 and up. But this is a chrome bumper car, and it has real wire knockoffs. Okay, they're not adapters. That is a single nut. And from an investment standpoint, those cars are always going to be more valuable. Now, the wire wheels are in pretty rough condition. The car, however, is overall pretty decent. One of the things that caught my attention when I talked to this guy is he said, this car is completely rust-free. Now, in the British world, that means something very different than it does in most cars. But he said, no, really, there is very, very little rust on this car. Well, now I was interested, because anything that is old and rusty is almost never worth putting a bunch of money into, because the rust always comes back. Now, the paint on this car is hammered. It's been repainted before quite poorly. The clear coat's coming off. It's not the right shade, but paint work is not nearly as expensive as body work, so that is something that can be fixed. The wire wheels are available if I want to buy new ones. I can have them chromed, I can paint them. We'll get into that in a later episode, but all of a sudden I got really interested in this car as something to flip. So, not knowing anything about MGBs, I decided to start looking at other MGBs like this one. And those cars, if they're nice, sell in the, call it 10 to 13 range. Really, really nice cars are pushing $20,000. This car was $4,500. Now, after talking to the guy, he also said that he bought it from a gentleman who had rebuilt the engine, transmission, and put a clutch in it. Okay, now I'm very interested. So when I'm looking for inventory, I have a bunch of criteria, but it really comes down to for me, it needs to be something unique. I don't want to buy something where there's a ton of them out there to compete against. My problem with Civics and Corollas and those sorts of cars is that there are hundreds of them for sale, and I need to compete with the guy that wants to sell his the worst. So I look for something that's different. Personally, I always look for a manual transmission because that really makes it harder to find, which means there's going to be less competition, which means I'll get a better price for it. Obviously, an MGB, a manual transmission is a given, but it hit all my criteria. Something that's rare, something that is a manual, and now something that I can work on and fix up if I need to. Because these cars are so simple, if there was something wrong, it shouldn't be too much to fix. So what we're going to do now is go to the shop and find out just how badly I got taken in this purchase. So now that we have our car back in our workshop, let's take a look and see what we actually have. It does look like the engine has been worked on. The paint is considerably newer than the rest of the car, so that's a pretty good sign that there was some work done like he had said. Also, this car has an alternator, but much more reliable charging system, can handle a lot more current, and that's a good thing because one of the things we're going to do is upgrade the lights. The car does have the original SU carburetors and air cleaners, and this all points to its originality. The SUs have a tremendous amount of tuning ability. You can change the jets, you can change the needles, there's a whole bunch of stuff, and I think one of the reasons these carbs have such a terrible reputation is that people don't understand how to properly tune them. I don't either, but we're going to work on it. We're going to work on that and find out. So looking over the engine compartment, yeah, there's some, this stuff is hanging down. We're going to get some adhesive spray and hold that up. But overall, I mean, the paint really is in very good condition. Body's pretty straight. So this car comes complete with 2 pieces of wood because the emergency brake does not work. And this car doesn't have a ton of compression, and if you leave it on a hill, I mean, even if you put it in gear, it rolls away. So the owner included a couple of pieces of wood to lock it down. Again, we've got carpet peeling down, but look at the body of this thing. I mean, it really is kind of scary just how good a shape this is in. The wiring seems to be in pretty good shape. So far, it looks like he was telling the truth. So I think the first thing we're going to do today is put the top down. I've heard these are fiddly tops to deal with. We're going to take a look and see. There's some latches up in the corner. There's some down here in the body. And we're just going to go around and undo all the straps, and then we can undo the latches that will release the top from the top of the windshield header. And then there are all kinds of snaps around the body as well. The last step would normally be to pull these clips out from here, but as you can see, those have already come apart. So this thing has been flopping around for a while, and then this apparently slips back once the top is disconnected from the windshield header. So let's take a look at those and see how far we can get. Okay. These are the ones that you have to get here in the corner. And now, I get these snaps off of here. This should slide back. like that. Okay, now we have to fold this so that these corner windows don't break when we fold them. I'm going to fold those over like that. And fold this one like that. And now, when this folds in, hopefully this will fold in here. So far, so good. This goes to show you just how valuable a Miata's top mechanism is. Okay, so now that that's on, we'll put the tonneau cover on. I don't even know how this works. I think this tonneau cover is old. It's going to take a little bit, but I'm going to continue working on this, try to get this done, and then we'll pull the car out and see if we can make it run better. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this episode. Thanks so much for watching. We have a bunch of videos coming out soon, so please like, please share, please subscribe. We'll see you soon.